Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio.
Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Hawks, you're on the show. It's Southside and Albert. Evening, boys.
Evening, mate. How are you used to?
Good, mate. Glad you passed the fitness test, mate.
Aye, oh well, aye. I'll always make it, mate. I'll always make it. I'll no pull out. I'm no chucker.
Evening, Southside.
Evening, good to be on the night with my good friend Albert, and good evening to everyone listening in this evening.
I'm no one for spreading rumours, as you too well know, right?
Uh-huh.
But I was talking to the Northwest correspondent today, and he said to me, have you spoke to any of the dog walking club? And I didn't have a clue who he was talking about. Because I know that you two have to get a dog that he was referring to you to.
We ain't have a dog. We talked to every dog in the park, didn't we?
No, he does, I don't.
Oh, laddie, I must admit, laddie.
There you have it.
There you have it. Straight for the horse's mouth, or the dog's mouth,
You've been spotted. You've been spotted.
No chance of him walking the distances we walk anyway, is there?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know. Put a foot in his sorry, he'll take more distance than you used to.
Well, that's true. I know. I'll certainly put the mileage up on it.
How we both doing, mate? You two haven't been on. Well, sorry, you've not been on Southside since the debacle. The debacle on Wednesday. Me and Albert had the pleasure of doing the aftermath show. So, Southside, the floor's yours.
I'll say, first of all, take my hat off to you two gentlemen for doing these shows. Straight after these performances, you know what, like, they're hard today, aren't they? Shambolic again on Wednesday for the Sunday. Didn't see it coming, to be honest, the way it's unfolded, the way we've had the defeat and the draw, and for the performance that the team have put in. So looking at it that way, no enough effort when you look back, and the heart and desire, run effort-wise, putting in application, chasing your runners, that was all missing on Wednesday night. Didn't it just look as if we had enough fight in us for some reason? I've got no idea. You're going for a championship. Thing is, we put ourselves in this position, you know, and to get yourselves into that position where, the result against them at Ibrox, wasn't it? And then you go to Ross County and then you follow up with Dundee when you're going for this championship. It's just unbelievable what they've done again, this squad. Certain members of this squad, you can't use all the squad as an example.
Who's escaping the criticism for you, Southside?
Well, obviously, you look at, I would say, well, obviously, Sterling didn't have a great game at left back, but Sterling on Wednesday night, you can't hold him accountable for other people that you know, and you see their level of performance, and they're meant to be your mainstay players on the park. Tav, Golston and Lundstrom straight away are the three that are played week in, week out, relied on. And it's down to them to put in the performances, and the three number honking. So obviously that doesn't help the rest of the team when you've got the three of them out there. And then obviously ahead of them, I thought, if I'm honest, the manager, in my opinion, I thought he should have left Cantwell on. I know he wasn't great. He did put a through ball through to Seema in the first half that created something. But I just thought there might have been something he could have done. Ox maybe picking the ball up outside the edge of the box. I want to, and you know he's a bit of a maverick type player. He can produce something. And I thought he could have took off Lawrence, he could have took off Lundstrom, but he chose to go down that route and take off Cantwell. But I would have been more inclined to keep him on, in my opinion, in case he could have made something happen later on in the game.
I get that. I agree with your honking, but I would also say that Butland's maybe escaped. I know we could maybe blame him for the third goal against Dame Ibrox, but I think he's void of criticism and well with the piece.
Oh, sorry, mate. Aye. Sorry, aye. Obviously, Butland, aye.
I get that. I accept your point with Cantwell. Actually, I thought he was. I think the word you used, it suits it up. It's honking, and that's a bit right. But I actually thought that Lawrence was worse than him, Albert.
I would agree with Sterling and what do you call him? Butland is the only sort of just past marks. I'm not saying they're 7s and 8s and all that, just past marks, mate. Just barely getting by 5. But the rest of it, no. It was just they're not going for it. You can see they're not going for it. Big Sterling let it slip. They're not going for it. It's as simple as that, mate. For whatever reasons, they're not going for it. And I don't know. The rest of the sport don't know. I don't even think the manager might know right enough. Because it looked like Golson's off form and he's lost a yard in pace. Tav's off form, he's lost a yard in pace. And then Lundstrom's just in a huff the way he normally goes. I just don't see what people see in that boy. I really don't. But anyway, that's the 3 then. But there's more. You've got Lawrence in there. He can't run the length of his style. Cantwell, Disney he looks if he's lost a bit of pace. Big Seamer looks if he's just back for injury and lost a wee bit of pace. Now he's still to get up with speed. You've got Roof up there, and I don't know what we're supposed to be doing. Roof, you create nothing for him. He's a poacher. He's one of the wee sniff around the area type player that will get you goals that way. But what you don't do is punt big high boys up to him, and that's just madness, total madness. So you can run the whole team like that. No, I mean it's. But collectively, forget with individuals. I think it's been done to death with us all. But see, collectively as a team, we're just not there, mate. We're not putting the effort in.
All right, okay. Right, Southside, we're all feeling a bit deflated with it, it's not it's a big part of all our lives, and it deflates you a bit, but listen...
So was the boys in Dundee? I don't know what that was about either.
Aye, they were not inflated, no deflated.
Aye.
But it's big Stevie. I don't think he realised what he done last night. He put something into context. It's important, but it's not a be-all and end-all, The young Barrett had passed away in Portugal.
Aye, no, listen, we know, listen, but it does affect your life to a point, Ox, no. I mean, everybody manages unlucky enough to get to the away games and that, and going to Ross County was an early shift for everybody up there, and coming back down the road with a shocking result and a shocking performance, and then you go to Dundee, where you say, well, obviously they'll get this rectified, and we've said enough about the park and everything else, and we got up there and they put in that performance. And you're like, what's going on here?
Would you say, in your opinion, it looks as if, and Albert, you can come in right away after Southside. Sterling spoke yesterday, and you can put 2 and 2 together. Sometimes you come up with 5, sometimes you come up with 6. People have intimated, myself included, that it looks as if there's been some kind of bust-up. I mean, here's Sterling yesterday. Does that point towards that for you?
I think Sterling said what he said is what we're all thinking, and we've all said on here, and a lot of people have probably been on during the week and whatever they've said. Lack of bottle, lack of belief, lack of attitude, application. You're going for a league title here. Put yourself on the map. Make yourself heroes, playing for Glasgow Rangers. And what have you done? You've went to 2 places where we should be winning, and you've not even turned up and kicked a ball, and looked disjointed, looked all over the place. And it's just not acceptable, Ox. It isn't. I mean, you've just got to look at the team. And something's maybe went wrong. Maybe 1 or 2 things have been said. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, you could say, well, maybe some players might feel a bit aggrieved. Say Kieran Dell's come in for nowhere, as we've all said, got a game against them at Ibrox, and then suddenly comes on and then starts and whatever. So, and he's come in out the blue and maybe put a couple of noses joint out, maybe a couple of players on. I don't know, but that shouldn't even be the case. Come on, as a guy who picks the team, and he's maybe picked it wrong in a couple of positions, but he's been fighting jigsaws all season with this team. So Aye, and it's gave us a step backwards. Listen, we weren't winning the league in October when they came in. That mob across the city tell you they'd won the league, right? They'll tell you now they're still winning the league, right? And they've not won anything yet. So we have to get our act together, and we've got 5 games.
You can still argue in our horns if we score enough goals, you know.
Aye, it's slightly, we've put ourselves slightly, we've made it a lot harder, but it can still be achievable, Ox. It can certainly still be achievable, but these players need to realise and get their performance up to scratch. But the big gainer as well, will hopefully have to maybe, can he really rejig it much? You know, that's the thing that you've got. It's all right saying do this and do that. I mean, people will say fling Balogun in, right? Balogun's hardly get any game time.
And he's been out. So, is he going to give you? What's he going to give you? Is he the answer? I get it.
You know, so you might have to play with 1 or 2 that's still playing like a bag of washing, and it might just have to be what it is. But they'll need to ship up or come this weekend, mate. The whole lot of them need to get a reality check. Big Sterling's spot on, mate. I agree with him, and it's amazing to hear a player say it, but all the supporters are thinking. And fair play to him, aye. After a game a bit raw, and maybe, but he said what he thought, and I'm honest. I'm glad he said it. I'm glad he said it because it reflects what everybody was thinking, mate.
Aye, I didn't think any less of him for saying it, mate. I don't know the boy, but he seems to have something about him on and off the park. But Albert, want to go to you. You're a man of experience, maturity, intelligence, wisdom, and wit.
Oh, well, you're up to pee at me.
Aye. Right. Has there been a fight?
I think it's clear, mate. I think it's absolute. Might not be a team fallout that they've all fell out with the man. It might be all individual reasons for falling out, whatever it is, whatever they are. But there has definitely been a fallout somewhere along the line. And it's disgraceful. It's absolutely disgraceful. If they're doing that to that manager, I mean, let's be honest about it. It's outside said. He's pulled us round. He's gave them the confidence to go and runs and get us back into the league and won the League Cup and semi-final of the Scottish Cup, last 16 of the UEFA Cup. No, I mean, he's done that by organising them and believing in them. And this is the way they've repaid them. It's not right, mate. It's not right. And he had to go out and do that interview, which basically it made him look like a fool. But he's doing it to try and show them that I'm still with you. I'm still protecting you. All the blame should have been on to the players. All right, you might have said the man has got a couple of things wrong. Right, that's fair enough. But he's going out there and he made a fool of himself. Let's kid ourselves on. He made a fool of himself. But I think intentionally made a fool of himself to say to himself, I can't do anything else for a start. I can't say anything else. But I'm prepared to back he's in the media. But when Sterling came out and said what he said, I bet you any money you want, like Clement was sitting in there, and he listened to that interview and he's turning and basically said, well, he said a couple of things that I really wanted to say, but I can't say because he's trying to dull gel a team, as we all know. But definitely, there's a fault. There's definitely a fault, mate, somewhere along the line. We've all heard rumours now, so.
We've all heard rumours.
Aye, so it's one of the ones like Chinese whispers, or it could be true. We don't know, but. The proof of the pudding's in the eating. You see these players and they're not trying. You can see it, they are not trying. Every bit of information he's passed on to them, they're ignoring.
Yes. And obviously this team's coming to an end with guys like Balogun and McLaughlin and Ryan Jack.
I'll get 10 in them. You want to hear them? I'll get 10
Oh, you got a list?
Oh, I've got a list for you, mate. I've always got a list for you.
Yes. People have been asking for an all-bear list, mate.
There's 10 of them that should be just out the door. Before you even thinking about this, just be out the door. Tav, Golson, Lundstrom, Jack, Barisic, Roof, Balogun, Wright, McLaughlin, Hadji. They should go, mate. They should go. Some of them.
What's up with Scott Wright?
I know. I had a question mark next to him, right?
All right. Okay.
And then
I'm trying to Hadji.
And then you've got another. And then you've got another wee list of 5 players. Wright's in that one as well. He's the only one that made two of my lists.
Is he the 5 that's to be shot?
You've got the tick box list. The tick box list consists of players that are only on the bench to fill in a criteria because of UEFA, which I believe is changing next season. Is that right? I don't know if that's right. No, the Scottish trained boys got a certain amount on your bench. So there's McCorry, King, Devine, McCausland, and Wright. These boys are doing nothing. McCausland comes in now and again, but he's not physically ready yet, and that's ridiculous. That is just ridiculous. The other ones, they're never going to play for Rangers, mate. Never. So they're there for a tick box exercise. So we're wasting our time with them as well. So there's 14 players. You're sitting saying to yourself, what are we going to do with these 14 players? Something needs to be done. No, you're not going to get rid of them. I know that.
No.
You really
Well, you
need
might.
to dig out the... Well, you might have to. You might have to because Golson, Lundstrom, Roof are all on fantastic wages. I better say Hadji's on a good wage as well.
To be fair, Lundstrom and Roof's contracts up. Lundstrom,
aye, they're gone. They're gone.
Barisic, Balogun, McLaughlin. I can't think any more. I think there's 8, but that's 6 off the top of my head. Southside.
I'm surprised you've not got Matondo on the list. I mean, let's be honest. I mean,
no, I've got that's another list that I didn't
want. But listen,
for selling, mate.
He had a wee sort of spell earlier on. He was doing all right, and then he unfortunately took an injury, which is the norm at Ibrox, and then he's come back out. He's never really going to feature. Probably, I don't see him featuring as a starter week in, week out. Pay him a hefty wage. He's getting about 28 grand, 26, 28 grand a week. People reckon. So, and he's a bit part player. So for me, he either has to be playing week in, week out. For that reason, you need to be turning in performances. Wingers are unpredictable. They're not great every week, but you need a level of consistency. But if you're looking at maybe somebody like Oscar Cortez, if we sign him, would he be a better player? Sorry. But then...
interested to see what happens to Cortez all bear in it if he gets his fitness.
Aye, it's he looks a player, doesn't he? Davis. I forgot to put Davis in there, mate, at 11. Aye, he looks a player. He definitely does. But we've no got the contract to sign him, have we? I know he Demondi it is, but I don't know about him.
No, but I'm interested to see how it pans out. I mean, listen, your first impression was he was all right, but we don't know. But first impression, and I think there was something there. He was a winger, and we'd been more balanced with him in the side than we were with Silva, Southside.
I think we'd be a far better team and all with him in it. I think he shows flat. I think he showed a good bit of skill level in certain games. I think you only seen him about 11 times. But you can see that when we got the ball, he wanted to go at the winger and take him on. He had a burst of speed as well. So for me, I thought he was starting to look promising, and I thought if he carries on like this, he'll do well, and then we'll probably sign him as the agreement I think was put in place. Unfortunately, again, takes the injury. And did look a decent player even on that surface in Kilmarnock that night. As much as we weren't great at times, he was playing pretty well at that time till the injury. I'd like to think we might go back and get him. I'd like to see he's the right age. We were looking at him, but I think we were keen to get him and Diamonde. So I think that was a deal that would have got done if he hadn't got injured. So I'd like to see if we could maybe even take him on loan again for a period of time and see if we could get another look at him, and then with a view to buying him up, might be a good option for us.
I was going to say that, take him on loan again.
We'll see. Right, so Balogun, McLaughlin, Barisic, Lundstrom, Jack, Roof. I mean, let's be honest, they've not all featured much. The players apart from Lundstrom. And having watched John in the last 2 games, I'm not saying the Old Firm game because it was just a mad game. But I watched him in the last 2 games. He's just got further and further back. It looked as if he was something that was going through the emotions. That intimated to me that maybe talks had stalled. He's moved on. He's decided his future lies elsewhere, or he's not getting what he wants. All better than Southside.
Definitely, mate. All the things, all the above. Definitely. All I do know is he slipped back into the player that played Reveal at Mincy. Back at the defence, in between the centre halls, passing it to Ghost and taking it back, passing it to Suter, taking it back, passing it to Tar, taking it back, going nowhere, going absolutely nowhere. Pace of the team slowed right down. He is pressing nobody, absolutely nobody, by the way. Nah, he's chucked it, mate. I kept telling people don't give him a contract because he's always liable to do this. Chuck it, and he's chucked it again.
Mm-hmm.
He's through the towel, and you can't say anything else but that, mate. He's through the towel.
Southside.
Well, you had a poll when I came on and said I wouldn't give him a contract, and I gave reasons why. And I think the big one, I think maybe the night Big Stevie was on, and I think maybe a lot of people fancied him. We need to rebuild to a point. He's the wrong age, he's too slow, he's cumbersome. If you noticed against Dundee, he get caught tight in possession, he get crowded out. He lost the ball, and the first thing he done was tug the boy back on the shoulder. The boy managed to wriggle away from him. And otherwise, if he caught him and the boy just fell down there to get booked again, that's what he does. He's not good in tight situations. He's not good at pace. And do you really want somebody that can drop into your back three, pick a ball and just pass it on? You know, I mean, that's what you want to pay big money for. He'd be too slow in Europe, if we're in Europe. And you can look at the performances he's putting in the room. We're going for a title. Some people have said that he looks tired because he's played a lot of games. Maybe that might be a reason, but listen, he had a wee break there and that. So, I mean, you're going for a title and you know what's at stake. You should find the energy and adrenaline for somewhere. So for me, no, I think the club will probably, hopefully, no one to give him a contract. And we can move forward. It'll be saving a lot of money and go and see if we can get somebody better. Simple as that.
Well, somebody with more assets than him, you know. Listen, he's been with us for, 3 seasons now. He's been involved in some big games. He's done okay at times. He's had periods in his career where he's been really poor for us. Albeit, maybe it is time. Maybe the big can go at 100% spot on. And even Stevie said last night he's flipped. Maybe Southside's got it spot on, albeit. And I think you were always of that thinking, weren't you?
Oh, I would never get. I was the Southside all the time. I wouldn't give him a contract. I said the real line. I never liked him ever since he got sent off in Europe. Stupid thing to do, an absolute stupid thing to do, and he gets sent off. That's the night Cholak scored like 1 or 2 against us, and we went out of Europe that night. And you're sitting saying, "That's all because of you, you big clown."
I think you're getting your games mixed up.
Well, whatever it was then, whoever we're playing. But you remember him getting sent off. That's the point. You get sent off at Ibrox. I knew then you've not got a player. You've got a clown, an absolute clown. He's already on a booking and he pulls the guy back, gets sent off. Going, oh, that's smart. That's really smart, that, isn't it? And he's let's be honest, mate. He's supposed to be the brains of the midfield. He's the guy that's supposed to be in the know-how of what he's doing. Clown, absolute clown. And then when he chucked it at St Mirren, he chucked it at St Johnstone. That was it for me. Then for me, he should have a put a Rangers jersey on. I know people say, oh, he's had man of the matches. The man of the matches he was getting, I never actually seen him doing brilliant in the matches to warrant getting man of the match. That's like Ian Butler, the man of the match. Aye, great game, never made a save. So what's he getting man of the match for then? He's like that when he slips into that back four and knocks it left, right. We'd have 20-yard passes at best. No, I mean, we 5-yard passes. Doing nothing, creating nothing, no pushing us forward. Nah, no for me. I don't know how you look at him.
Well, I think. Listen, I think the other thing is Southside pace, age. Mm-hmm. So he's just going to get slower, and his age. So why would you want to invest? I don't know.
A lot of money. A lot of money.
Because obviously there's the transfer fee.
We talk about energy, didn't we? We need energy and legs. We need mobile players. We want to be playing try and play a wee bit of free-flowing football, especially in Europe, but you need pace. It's evident. Just watch any of the European football that's on the now. And there's boys in there at 18 and 19 playing the Champions League. And they've all got pace and power. But we play in a league where we try and do the attack and then break teams down. We're going to Europe, it's more open. Teams want to come and attack us, and that's how we concede goals in Europe. But we've also managed to score goals in Europe and all. So we've batted above our average in Europe, and for a penalty kick we could have won it. You know, so that's how far that we could have gone. And in that time, and in the lead up to that, John Lundstrom did have a couple of good games, and he also played quite well in the away game when we were under the cosh against Leipzig in the first game, when Gio decided to drop it to 5 at the back and that. Aye, he's had some decent games, but come on, but he gets chunky money, and we need legs in the team. We're talking about giving him another contract, for 2 or 3 seasons and build a team round about him as your central midfielder.
You've got to learn. You've got to learn.
Aye, come on.
Watch with Tavin Golson. Right, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll move on a bit. Do you feel better for that, getting that counselling session for me and Albert Southside?
It's been a tough week, I'll tell you that.
You should be on getting us counselling, right? we had to talk about it straight after it.
The lick would die the way down the road, don't worry about that. I'm driving you to drink that with him.
No, it was mentioned, Denver.
Yeah,
right, get yourself on mute. We'll hear from the manager. It's about 12 minutes long, yeah? So if you want to listen to the manager, he's coming up, and obviously some of the sound's no ideal. It's nothing to do with Rangers Radio, it's just that it was the quality of the press conference today. So let's hear from your gaffer, Big Phil Clement.
Philippe, how are you feeling heading into this Cup semi-final?
Excited. It's always exciting to play a semi-final, to be close to a final, to play at Hamden. We had a good experience there. You're 2 games away of a trophy, so everybody's really excited about it.
How would you describe the mood in the camp and amongst your players after a disappointing result on Wednesday?
Hungry. Desire to have a new game, to prove themselves. So that's the case, and that's what I expect also.
Dujon Sterling had some strong words about the performance. What did you make of his assessment of things?
Yeah, Nick just told me, because I don't read everything. That it's words of a player who is disappointed because we lost points, who maybe lacks a little bit experience in that way. If I see Virgil van Dijk giving a press interview yesterday after the game, it's totally different, and that's the way it should be, because those are things for young players to learn and to become better in that. It's more talking out of the frustration. But I know we can count on Dujon on the field, what he did the last couple of months, the moment he was fit. That's also not been the case enough for me, so no, we will work with him on that also.
Yeah, you seemed a bit more positive about elements of the performance. Do you stand by that assessment, or can things change when you look back at it a couple of days on?
It was more positive than the Ross County game, for sure. There were a lot of elements that were much better. You need to give also credit to Dundee, the way they defended. So they kept on defending, they kept on running back with a lot of numbers. And Dundee is normally a team who gets a lot of chances and a lot of shots on target. They didn't manage to do that in this game, so that proves that we did something right. But we didn't get the result. That's true. And we could have done several things better. That's also true. So we're going to work on that to make it again better this game. We had some players coming back out of injury last couple of weeks. We know that story. We know also, and I said it from the beginning, it's impossible if you've been 2 months out, 3 months out, that from the first game you are the star. I see that also yesterday with players like Jota coming back out of an injury. So those are all normal things. But you need to take the moments and to grab those moments in those circumstances to get the points, what we didn't do. So in that way, Dundee was for me a much different game than Ross County.
Dujon spoke about the belief within the squad. Have you noticed those belief and confidence levels dipping during your recent form, or is that something you've had to address with any of the players?
It's always, of course, if you win 10 games in a row, you have more belief than when you lose 2 times points. But this is Rangers. This is a club where you always need to fight, and every point you lose, it's like you're going through hell. That's this world, and that's good. That's also the challenge, and it's now interesting to see which players can live in that way. But it's an exciting place to be, because on the other side, you can go also to heaven when you win games and when you win trophies. In other teams where it's not so important to win points, or when it's not something dramatic when you lose points, you cannot go to heaven also, because those are not the clubs that win trophies. So this is something you need to embrace.
If there are fans who have lost belief in this side or in some of these players, what would you say to them ahead of?
The same thing what I said in October. And I think this team in October didn't prove that much in results, in attitude, in resilience, and in the 6 months they proved it in several times. So it's there, they can do it. They showed it, and not only one time or to be lucky. No, they showed it several times with quality. That's what they need to do again. So yes, my belief is there 200%.
How is the squad for Sunday? Diomande and Ridvan, are they available?
Diomande will be available. Ridvan is still a question mark.
Philippe, everyone else okay after Wednesday night?
Yeah, we can do a one-on-one. It's not a problem. Maybe we can have dinner this evening or something.
Philippe, can I ask you, how do you cope with criticism that comes?
I know it's part of the job. It's like that. I've been now more than 30 years in this world, and I've been buried a lot of times as a player and as a manager. So I know what I'm doing in a club, and I know what I'm doing in this club, and I know we're in the right road together. We had some bumps along the road, and a lot of things had to do with the injuries that we had in the squad. We made a good assessment in the club about that, how to avoid it in the future, and that will make things also better and easier. And now it's about taking the maximum out of the situation now, and it's a growing situation. Kemarouf played his first minute in how many months? Abda came back now after an injury of 2-3 months. He was already important in this game, but just not scoring, and that's little bit of rhythm that you miss. Tom Lawrence didn't play that many minutes in one game from October. Kieran Dowell came back out of an injury. A lot of stories. So Dio will be back now. So we will grow again next couple of weeks, and it's about keeping the same resilience and the same mentality that they had before, and showing that quality on the pitch and taking the points.
You spoke about how players and how people deal with being at clubs like Rangers and Celtic when anything else other than a win is treated as a major disappointment. In your experience as a manager, have you felt any sort of intensity like this before when there is the pressure on?
Yes, in Club Brugge it's the same. Only winning, only becoming champion is the only thing that counts. But I've been like that all my life. There is nobody who can be more critical than me, because I want to win everything. Everybody who knows me from when I was a child, if it was with playing basketball or tennis or table tennis or whatever sport, I want to win. I made a lot of fights with my wife about that I wanted that mentality with my children, because I did it with them also. If I played the game with them and they were 3 years old, I wanted to win. I don't give anything. So that's the mentality that's necessary in clubs like this. But like I said, you need to embrace that. It's also because of that you can be successful and you can win trophies and you can have these exciting moments that will stay there for the rest of your life, those experiences. So yeah, that's what Rangers is about, that I know really well. That's why I love to be here also.
You need to be a special person, a different type of person to accept that, though. Do you learn more about your players then in times of adversity?
Of course. It's easy to be good and to be happy when it goes easy. It's when the going gets tough, you see the personality and the character. And players can grow in this. It's also a growing experience. It's not only from nature that you have this, you can grow in that. So that's an important part of being part of this club. So it's also something that Niels knows also really well. It's something to look at in recruitment also.
Finally for me then, and from Hearts' perspective, I think they haven't beaten Rangers in the last 17 games, but they are playing really well at the moment. They're a team on the up, they're very positive just now. How do you counter that?
No, I don't counter anything. we're going to play our own game. We don't need to counter another team. So we're going to play our own game and believe in ourselves and showing our qualities.
You said you felt the performance on Wednesday was better than Sunday. Does the performance this Sunday need to be up another level than it was on Wednesday?
Of course. To win, you need a better performance than we had on Wednesday, for sure. But and that was the question, was the performance better than Ross County? Yes, it was. We need a better one now to go to the final, that everybody knows. We need to take the right lessons and we need to do the right things against Hearts, who play a really good season and they were really successful. So it's a very interesting test again for the players, and I know they're all hungry to go to that final. They had the experience already to go to a final and to win it also. Some of them won already several, so the hunger is big.
As a coach, there's been a narrative that this group of players have maybe come close to success on a number of occasions and fallen short. How do you go about changing that?
It's really strange to say that, because this group of players have been together for 9 months now. So people can talk a lot about the past, but it's a group sport. If you can speak about individual sports, you can go maybe making accounts like that, but you're always part of a group. You're always dependable on other people around you, on other players around you. So you can never make assessments like that. There are maybe really good players who never win something in their career because they were in the wrong club. So in that way, all the players are here. They know they're in the right club, because this is a club that can achieve things. It's about them taking this moment.
Philippe, can I ask you about Nico Raskin? Other players have come back from injury and kind of jumped ahead of him in the queue to get some first team. What does he have to do to get back in your team?
Keep on doing what he's been doing. He's working hard. We had also with Dio somebody in his position who was doing really well. Tom Lawrence, Kieran Dahl coming out of injuries, who were doing well also, before in a really good way. Nico also. So tough choices to make in that position. Other positions, tough choices to make, because it's more difficult to find people who are really in good form or really pushing in that way. But on the midfield, there's a hard battle for the moment, yes.
When you first came in, you asked, or you commented a lot about lateral passing and the players being more positive. And we've seen that straight away in the last couple of games. They maybe looked a wee bit more nervous. How do you stop that falling back into bad habits and make sure they get back to the good form you had?
Yes, no, that's a good point. I think against Dundee we were too direct. So we lost the balance in that way, that we sometimes wanted too fast to play deep. And it's finding that good balance by showing it with images and what we need to do and take lessons out of that. So maybe the hunger was too big to go too fast forward. We need to find a good balance in that and do that in a better way against Hearts.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Well, thanks for that, Fox. We're back, gentlemen.
Yep.
Yep.
Listen, I'll give them that we defended better against Dundee, but I'm struggling to see if the performance was any better. All better.
It was a clean sheet, mate. That's all. That's all. I think he's talking about. It's a clean sheet. That was better. And to be fair, by the way, one goal wins that game. Let's be honest about it. One goal, either team that is wins that game. We just can't get the ball in the net. The usual problem rears its head again. Can't put the ball in the net. But overall, it was a bad performance. I don't think he's even trying to say it was a good performance. Just slightly improved on Ross County, which wouldn't be hard. Let's be honest about it. It wouldn't be hard. But he's got to say something, mate. He's got to say something. That's the thing. But if he says, "Oh, we're crap against Ross County, we're crap again tonight. These players are useless." By the way, there's a few of them chucked it. Can't get them motivated at all. They're no interest. I mean, these are the things that we're all saying. He can't say that, can he? He can't come out and say any of that.
No, he can't say that. No, he might want to, but he can't say that.
So he wants to say it anyway. So.
He talked there at the end of the interview about Nico Raskin. And then ours mixed up there, mate. He's not had an opportunity, and the guys ahead of him, if I'm being honest, the guys that have come in since Diamande went off haven't been great. I don't think Lawrence, I don't think Dow.
No.
Somebody.
No, he referenced that Diamante's on that side, and that's maybe who he was competing against, and then he references the rest of them coming back in. Listen, his passing's not been great at times, right? That's about the only fault I think you could really fling at Nico Raskin. He worked hard, he chased down, he was harrying, he gets about the park. But like we say, we've not seen him for long enough now. But I think we need something, a bit more injection like that in the team. And I thought he might have gave him some bit of game time to see if he would go on and make an impression. But he hasn't. So I think we'll just have to bide our time when he thinks he's going to introduce him into the team ops, unless there's another problem that nobody knows about. And he's just decided he's no part of his plans, and he's just batted the question off with what he said in it.
Who would you say he was up against? Lundstrom, Jack?
I thought he would have been up against... listen, the way he was played under Bill, he was a guy that sort of collected the ball, didn't he? And sort of move it on. But I think...
So he's playing in the Lundstrom role?
Lundstrom role, aye. That's what you would think he's doing, aye. The fact they said he wanted Diamande to me plays left and he carries the ball up and he's too fitted. I didn't think that was a Raskin role for me in my eyes. I thought it'd be more central.
Lundstrom, Jack. Yeah, I get it. That's the way we've seen him. You similar out there?
Aye, I think he's directly up against Lundstrom, and as far as I'm concerned, he can take his position off from the new. I mean, that's my midfield for Friday. I know Friday for Sunday. I know we're not at that point yet, but I would play Raskin. I would definitely play Raskin in the midfield, along with Diamande and Sterling. That's my midfield, mate. I'd go 4-3-3.
Aye, Lundstrom. I don't think that in form and attitude, Lundstrom doesn't start. I think he'll get picked. I wouldn't start him on form. Southside up, yeah.
No, I wouldn't start him, but he will get picked to play on Sunday by the manager. But I wouldn't pick him, and I would actually put Sterling in there into the midfield anyway on Sunday. And I know I've always been playing him in the central role, nobody to play anywhere else. But Lundstrom will be picked. But I bet there's a lot of bears out there when they would be agree with us, and might not always agree with the player we're putting in. But a lot of them would say if Lundstrom was missing for the team on Sunday, I don't think anybody would be too shocked about it, to be honest, going up to the game on Sunday.
Well, for me, I think we've got to get Dejon Sterling back into the midfield. I think we've not seen him at right back enough. I think he looks a better player in that central midfield ball winner with his pace than he does anywhere else in the park. Albert.
Aye, it's a no-brainer, mate. Midfield's wide open. It's no producing, it's no stopping anything. It's doing nothing, absolutely nothing. So we need to you need to make a choice now. Are you going to make it solid and hard to play through, or are you just going to go do the same, stick Lawrence and Cantwell on again and let everybody run through us? And that's what's happening. Everybody's running through us. It's easy, mate. It's easy to play against. We need to change it up completely. My team is completely different for Sunday, because Fox was asking about what's going to change for Sunday. What different? What's going to change for Sunday? Are we going to put these players out again and let them just fail again? Is that what we're going to do? I mean, 2 strikes and you're out, as far as I'm concerned. They've not done it for the last 2 games, and what makes you think they're going to turn up on Sunday and do it? You've got to change something, and I think he knows that. I think he knows it. I can't put this same team out again. I can't put Lawrence in the middle of that part. I can't put Cantwell in the middle of that part. I play one of them, maybe wide right, but I can't play the two of them in the middle of that part because there is nothing there when they're in there. They're not creating it, and they're not creating it. They're hopeless defenders.
Well, you end up with a 5-5, doesn't it? That's what the team looks like. It's 5-5, isn't it?
Aye.
Aye.
Definitely, mate.
Aye. All right. Come and join us. Give your thoughts. 0141 356 1972. Southside, are you intimating that you think that John Lundstrom, that's it? It's gone? Or he could be, it's happened. There's a partner that is imminently at the end of the season.
Lundstrom, in my opinion, I don't think Rangers will give him a contract, and I think John Lundstrom will be off.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm hearing clubs at the top of the championship. That's what I'm hearing.
Aye, but it'd be a good fit for one of them should they come up. He's not really going to go much higher into the Premier League to the top 10, 12 teams in that. I'm not going to want a John Lundstrom, a guy that's slow, a bit robotic, wants to drop into a back four, pick a ball, play it across the park. No, in the Premiership, you're not going to be with that. You might try to contain teams, so who's coming up? Ipswich, maybe Southampton, Leeds, Leicester. Kamara's doing it Leeds. He's fitted in there. But he's more mobile and he's smarter and can hold the ball in tight situations. Kamara didn't really get flustered, had a wee bit of pace about him. He didn't score many goals, but he was a far better player than John Lundstrom is. No, Glenn Kamara was, mate.
If I was a betting man, I'd put my money on Ipswich. What about you?
But they play in blue, don't they? Aye.
Okay, see what we've done there, Albert.
Yeah, it's smart stuff. Clever stuff in here.
Aye, people don't realise. You've got to listen on this show, haven't you?
Oh, it's playing tag with foxes.
People are told loads of things, but they don't realise.
Hey, read between the lines.
Yes. Right, okay, right. I was going to save this, but you've started me. Give your team, Albert. I want to hear it.
Right, okay. Butland, Tavernier, but the only reason I'm putting Tavernier on is because I want Sterling in the middle of the park. Sutter, Balogun, Red Van's out because I'd had him in, but he's out. So Davis is getting in there. Sterling, Raskin, Diomande, Matondo, Sima, and Cantwell on the right.
Right, run through that again, mate.
So it's Butland, Tav, Sutter, Balogun, Davis, Sterling, Raskin, Diomande, Matondo, Sima, and Cantwell. I'm
not sure about Balogun, mate, with the illness, yeah.
I think him at Ill's better than we're getting out of Golston now. In fact, I think a ball boy getting in there, you get better out of the ball boy than you would with him now.
Okay.
At least that wee lassie, Mia Macaulay, was eligible to play in the guys' team. She's some player, that wee lassie. Brilliant player.
No, maybe a good point well made, mate. Good point well made. Always interesting in these selections. So say that's his team. I'm not going to ask you for your team, right?
No.
I'm not going to do it, mate.
No.
I'm not going to do it. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you what you think the manager's team will be.
Manager's team will be Butland, Tav, Golson, Sutter, Borner. Midfield, I think it'll be Lundstrom's in there, and I think he'll go with Diomande because he said he's back to fit, so I think he'll go with him. I think he'll go with Sima on the left, Cantwell in the middle, and I think he'll put Sterling out on the right. And up front, it'll be CD9.
There you go.
That's what I think he'll pick.
Interesting to see how fit Diomande is and how he is. So if he brings
he's only missed that one thing with game walk, so I think he'll put him back in. If he doesn't, then Sterling will go in beside Lundstrom. But that's what we all want as a support of us sort of intimated that's what they'd like to see. The two of them in there together for this one game coming up.
Where do you fit Diamande in then?
I think he'll just go in beside Lundstrom.
If you put Sterling and Lundstrom together, like we've intimated, I'm not saying people would be crying out for John to be playing, but could Diamande play in the 10?
He could, but I think Cantwell would probably get the nod.
Right.
I don't think he's good enough for the 10 role.
You not seen that all there, no?
No, I don't see it. I see Lundstrom doing a cracking sweeping job behind Butland right enough.
The thing about Sunday is, right, if he picks these players that we think that one or two should maybe not be in the team, but you've got to remember it's a semi-final, and as much as they've been playing really poorly in the last two games, they'll have to go out and prove a point, and they'll probably think, well, they've got all the fitness levels in them. I'll be struggling to bring maybe one or two others in that we'd like to see changed. So you'll probably be thinking, look, they'll go out here and they'll turn it round. And then that's when we'll know at the end of the game. So if he changes it radically and it doesn't work, he'll probably get criticised. And if he puts the same mob out and it doesn't work, he's going to get the same flag, depending on performance. Any bad passing Sunday by any of the players, that crowd round about Hampden, they'll soon know. So they'll put themselves in a worse position than what they were going into this game, because they've heaped all this pressure on themselves with the performances and the state they've got themselves into in the last two games going into this semi-final now on Sunday. So they will be nervous. I guarantee you, some of the players now will be like, wow. But you're playing at Glasgow Rangers, you're in this semi-final, and half of that stadium, nearly 3/4 will be packed with Bears, and the expectation is we're going to that final. So they better get their heads in the game, because it means a lot to a lot of people out there, and they're only in there for a short period of time representing Rangers, and then they beat it and go somewhere else. And some have been lucky to stay longer than what they've had. So it's time to step up and play and represent Glasgow Rangers Football Club and make sure that they do the job required, mate.
Aye. You worry if some of these guys have went up, because I believe, Albert, if you in any sport, if you take your foot off the gas, it doesn't work like that. You can just put it right back on.
No, it's you've got to keep the pace and tempo up in every game. And if you're going for a title like that, you've got to get the fight, the desire, and the stamina right up. Nothing's going to stop you. You throw everything at it on the park. But once they cross that white line, and that's where all managers are snookered in it, is that they don't know what they're going to do. All you can do is use substitutes to try and replace the ones that are not pulling their weight. But for us, we need 15 substitutes. Let's be honest with it. You look at that team and you never know what they're going to do. First of all, start with their ball. Start with their freaking out. Every now and again, they all freak out. They've got to get a ball. Or Lundstrom, for example, I keep picking on him, I know that, but Lundstrom, he's no passing the ball. He's getting rid of the ball in certain circumstances. So's Tav, so's goals. When they're passing the ball to their partner or one of the Rangers players, they're getting him at chest height, a bouncing ball at chest height, and their guys get somebody right up his hump, and you're getting it. That's a smashing ball to give somebody. It's stuff like that. That's when you see people are no passing. They're just getting rid of the ball. I don't want it. You take it. And they're no moving off, as we said the day southside. No 1-2s, hit, move. None of that. None of it. Just all the basics are away, mate. Just gone. How he's going to get them motivated for that semi-final? I mean, the game itself should motivate any player. You'd think that, but I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh, they're definitely going to play better than they played in the last two games." You just don't know.
No. And I think the hard thing for us all to take is we never seen this coming. Obviously, we didn't play well against them in the first half and in difficult conditions. The wind was a factor for me. Some people said it was there. I thought it was a wind-affected game because you've seen that in the second half with them as well. However, you couldn't fault the team's effort and commitment in the second half. You thought, all right, okay, it wasn't what we were looking for, but it showed character. And since that, it's been like a balloon at burst that day. Southside.
Oh, you can put it down. It's probably pressure on the Mox. It must be what it is. The pressure of going into the next game, knowing that you have to get a win. Listen, there's always pressure, right? And Clement came in, and you get that manager bounce. He sets out a style, a structure, and they've been playing well. They played decent for large parts of some of the games, but we're consistently winning. We've had a couple of blips, but when you get to where we got to, and then you can say to yourself, listen here, look, we can win this, because that's where it took us to. And then the players, the pressures come on them. In hindsight, we should the Dundee game, although we just played it the other night, probably at the time it would have been better to have played it when it was trying to get played, but unfortunately it got put off because of the weather. But at that time it would have been better to get that game played out the road. Hopefully at that time you'd have got to 3 points and you just carried on. But when it's came down to it, Ross County and Dundee, and they can see what was in front of them and what could be achieved, then for some reason the wheels have just come off. They look a bit disjointed. They've not been fluent in their play. We've had another injury. We've had to change into left back, play a right-footed player who was doing quite well in the central of midfield, but being used to other place, trying them at left back. And the balance has been slightly off. And some of the players look like their legs have gone a bit, and that's just what it looks like. So Sunday's coming up, mate, and it's a big game, so it's down to Phil Clement to pick a team. But he might be left with the option to pick the majority of these players. I think if Balogun had played 4 or 5 games in the last wee while, I think it'd be an easy choice to have had him in for Golson. I just think he'll probably no feature, but he'll probably be on the bench, and I think he'll get another chance. But should any of them fail on Sunday, mate, they'll be chased down Edmondson Drive come near towards the end of the season. There'll be no hiding place for these players. No, the ones that we know, we expect Murphy, and the ones that we see in our eyes have let us down continuously. At times, they just don't have the will, the fight, the desire, whatever it is, the mentality to get the job done and put in a performance. Their performances have been weak at the wrong time, and when they need to stand up and be counted, and that's when you're judged. And unfortunately, they're making an easy judgment for the support out there in our eyes of what we're watching and what they're producing. And they're not getting this manager sacked, mate. This manager knows what he's doing, and he will clear them out, and he'll get his own players in, and he'll be down to that board that will have to supply the money. But so if he starts next season with Golson starting in a Rangers jersey, I'd be questioning, and Lundstrom, which I don't believe he will be, but should he, then I'd be questioning my manager.
Are you intimating to me that you think, or Albert can chip in, are you intimating to me that you think there's been a conversation with the group? They've been told what the plans are, and there's been a few petty lips. Is that what you're intimating to me, Southside?
I don't know 100% what's going on. I just think that there's a core group, mate, and it would only take a couple of things for them to say something. When any comments, it could be anything. You could turn around and go, well, we drew there, we lost that, we're never going to win this league, and it's starting to go, what? Somebody, well, we maybe fall in this league away. Any negative talk at all can spread about. But at the end of the day, you're judged on the results and you're judged on what's happening on the park. And we've seen this squad, we've seen Rangers teams in the past, after breaks, just seem to collapse for some reason or another. And they've all done it. These different groups of players that have been with different managers, and they've all ended up costing managers their job. But I don't believe they'll cost this manager their his job.
So am I reading him wrong there, Albert, that he's telling me that he thinks there's been a meeting, they've told us where it's gone, they've been told where it's gone, how it's going to work, who's maybe welcome, who's going to maybe move on. And there's been some petty lips. Is that what I'm picking up for that?
I think so, mate. I think the leadership group's been told anyway. I think they've been told. Maybe not the whole group, but definitely the leadership. They've been told something because it's them. It's just collapsed. They're just no one to know. And maybe they've spread to a couple of the other ones and just get round the squad. But there's definitely something happened. You can see it, mate. The team just doesn't dare this implode like this. I know we'll get a wee bit of history of this to implode like this. You know what I mean? It's some of these players are ridiculous. I mean, they've been there a long, long time, by the way. And you're sitting saying, well, use ones that are there a long time. Use have got a history of this. But you've got other ones in there like Sterling, Dessers, people like Seamer, McCausland, all these boys, Matondo, Lawrence, Cantwell. They've no experienced what we've experienced over the years, but Golson, Tav, Lundstrom, they have. Roof has. Jack has. Barisic has. Balogun has. Wright has. McLaughlin has. Hadji has. Davis, no, he's no. But they ones have had this experience in numerous times. So, from that point of view, I think so. Says right, the bottle's crashed with these players. There's no doubt about it. No doubt.
All right,
no doubt about
get
it.
yourself a mute, lads. I'm going to have a tune.
The famous RFC. Na 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 na.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
You need to join the dots on here and get the code book all better.
You need to get the Enigma machine working here, by the way. This is good stuff. This is all good stuff.
Oh dear. Right, okay.
What's your team, by the way? What's your team?
I think it'll be. What would that pick? What would my team be?
Yep. I'll go. No, go with goals. I go with the manager's team.
Manager's team. I think you'll go with the manager will pick Butland, Tav, Golson, Suter, Barisic. I think you'll go Lundstrom, Sterling, McCausland, Cantwell, Seamer, and Dessers. All right with that?
Aye, I'm fine with that, mate. I don't think I'll be the team. I'm fine with that.
It wouldn't be my team, but no.
No, well,
there would be close. I would go with. Unfortunately, I would go with Butland, Tav, Golson, Suter, Ben Davis, Sterling, Diamandi, McCausland, Cantwell, Seamer, and Dessers, because we've not got a lot of front. But I was tempted to play Seamer through a number 9, but Dessers. And at number 9, we've not got a lot of options up there. You know, and I don't. My Cosmo's not done a lot to get in the team, but Silva, wow, Roof, looked miles off it the other night, didn't he? Still,
Oh, he's nowhere near it, mate. Absolutely nowhere near it.
you know.
As I say, you got to create. You try to play. You got to create chances. You create chances, he'll take them. But well, since the wee cameos he's been in, he get an hour last night or 70 minutes, whatever it was, or against Dundee. Not one chance created for him. Not one chance. You're saying how his game's about scoring goals. You don't create chances. It's just nothing working.
No.
See, the thing is, see when you're putting Ben Davies in there as left back, you've got to remember that he has to go down the line now and again, or he has to at least go the halfway line the way we sort of play, where he wants his full-backs to work. I know you could change it slightly and say, well, you'll just sit rigid and you'll go by the halfway line. You know, you'll get the midfielders, midfielders will spread the ball in.
I just think that Maris is there's a couple of players checked out, mate. And I think Borner's one of them. You know?
If we get players in contracts that have checked out, it's worse.
Maybe that's. I bet there's a couple checked out in there. You know, they're moving on. But listen, I'll be interested to see what his team is. By the way, we heard about Ridvan. How long is that now? Is that 4 weeks? Has he had that injury?
Aye. Well, since the international break, basically. So that was that. January.
Feels like it. Feels like it. You know, we thought it'd be back, but
it's our medical team and our fitness staff, mate. As soon as they get the hands on, you forget about it. He ain't coming back.
Overtime. Do you think they're on?
Aye. I think what they think is they've got their treatment room full up and they'll get people knowing the team and think they're doing a good job. They don't understand. A good job looks like what a good job what it looks like. A good job for them when they're doing a really brilliant job is nobody's in the treatment room and everybody's fit and available and ready to play for the manager. That's their job. That's what they're supposed to be there to do. But all of a sudden, we don't want to do that. We like a nice full treatment room for some mental reason. That's the way I look at it anyway. And I listened to one of them the other day there on Rangers TV. And what a load of garbage that you're starting. Oh, we do this for the dressing room. And I mean, not absolute garbage, mate. We've got players there that are on good money. We can't get them on the park. Your job is to get them on the park as quickly as possible and as fit as possible. You can't seem to manage it. But anyway, that's just, I'm not going to start ranting about them again because I've said enough. Fifth columnist in there, I'm telling you.
This game, it's became, obviously, it's a semi-final of the Cup, the end of the season and where we are. Obviously, it's a massive game for the season, but I think 10 days ago, everybody would have been getting into this pretty confident that there's a thought that this news turned into a potential banana skin, which is bizarre, Southside.
It's the players have made it harder for themselves getting into this game because of the drop points in performance. If we had done the job required, then you'd have been in here just thinking carry on, job's getting done, we're on a positive run. So and Hearts have got players we know that are decent, can hurt us, gain chances up, gain them space and time. And either they want to play a wee bit of football, Hearts at times as well. So I think it'll be a more open game. I think they'll probably look at the form we've been in and think, here, maybe they might not have wanted to come and have a go for the start, but I think they'll come now thinking, look, we look vulnerable. So they might be a bit more adventurous, which might make it a bit of an open game on Sunday. So we need to get the form sorted out. We need to get crisp passing and get a tempo in our game and make sure the players are running about, like we talked about earlier, Albury this afternoon. It's about moving, passing off the ball. Quick 1-2 passing, move. It's a simple game. We just stopped sort of doing that. Try to take the ball and go and beat a man yourself and then just playing stray passes and don't look like we've got energy or recovery. So Sunday, mate, semi-final, expectation level. So the support will be there and be up for it. So it's down to the players to show that the last two games, as much as they shamed ourselves in the performance levels, it won't be happening again on Sunday if they're selected.
Did you mention performance levels and expectations?
Yeah, I know what's coming now. Yes, of course.
Let's hear Southside's Super 6.
Hi, welcome to Southside Super 6 for the 20th of April. This week we're going to do over 2.5 goals. So the first selection is Partick Thistle against Airdrie. Second selection is Dundee United against Ayr United. The third selection is Norwich against Bristol City. The fourth selection is Blackpool and Barnsley. The fifth selection is Doncaster and Barrow. And the sixth selection is Manchester City against Chelsea. So it's 6 teams over 2.5 goals, pays 25.5 to win.
I'm just taking a note of them. I'm going to go permanently 5 for 6. Nothing each draws. Cover myself.
Yep.
Very good. Try to try something different.
Have you ever tried knitting?
I'm not good with
that. I'm putting this on.
You could use the needles, knit needles, but I'm not good if you're giving me a barbell with it.
I'm going to put it on tomorrow. I'm definitely putting it on.
Oh, I'll be on, mate. I'll be on. I'll let you know how it's going, Albert.
Aye, good. Look forward to that.
I know, that's right. No football tomorrow. I want to enjoy my Saturday afternoon. And then ping. Oh no. Oh well. Well, that game's the back of 5, so when 5 of them's up with 3 o'clock kickoffs, you can all sit down in your chairs and watch Man City Chelsea.
If 5 of them's up,
you're cashing out.
Oh dear. Make you laugh all better.
Aye, it's good fun, mate. Especially if you're putting it on, which I don't normally do, but I won a wee bit of money last week, so I'll put it on.
And then you've got to know when to cash out, Albert, is that right?
Definitely, that's the secret to all, mate. That's the secret to a happy life.
But no, I think he's fun that out in my heat at the table.
All we heard was thump.
Well, has he hit the table and the gambler come on the jukebox? You've got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
That's right, so it did. Then in the immortal words, what's happened, Southside? With a big smile on his face.
I think we were right behind you, weren't we all? We were there to pick him up.
Oh, definitely. And give you tons of advice, like, you idiot. Well, you're shooting cash out. Oh, good stuff. Good advice. See, this is coming for a guy that doesn't gamble.
No. But you can count.
Well, the sums didn't make sense, did they?
No. I did advise him. Anyway, we digress. Right, come and join us. Use your team for Sunday. What you're thinking as a manager, as you got the tools, as you got the players to get us out of that. I tell you who I wouldn't play, and I don't think he should play. As a big boy Silver, I don't think he should start. Yeah, I don't think he'll get dropped to the squad, but I don't think he should start. Albert?
No, me neither, mate. No, he's 35 million £. No, I don't think so, mate. Don't think so. You see some wee bits of skill and you think, oh, looks no too. He could be no a bad player, but it all just fizzles out to nothing, mate. It's just he doesn't really influence a game at all. When he cuts in for the wing, you're like a £35 million player's David McTondell, and he's just firing one right in that top corner, or he's hitting it and making the keeper make a save or a spill. Nothing. He just runs across, and then somebody eventually takes it off him. He's no a £35 million player. I think Wolves have been stung with that one. But anyway, he's no your problem coming into the season.
No, he can control the ball. He's a decent unit. I don't think he's the quickest Southside. He hasn't offered a lot in the last 3 games, has he?
No, and listen, I don't even know if he's. I mean, I read up about him. Listen, he'd all the accolades as a young boy coming through, and at Porto he'd broke all these records, scored in goals and all this, and obviously then he makes the first team and does all that, and then he gets moved on. £35 million, big money for Wolves. I don't know exactly where he plays, Ox, to be honest. I thought when we were getting him he was a striker, and then we found out he wasn't really a striker. Then when he actually done an interview and said he doesn't really like scoring goals, and you're like, what? What do you mean you don't like scoring goals? No. So
well, he's been true to his word.
Especially against Motherwell at Ibrox for 4 years. But come on.
I'll look at him different now.
Remember the interview he done? But he done the interview. I like to move about and create things and this and that. But come on, mate. You know, I think you like scoring goals. So listen, he's got a bit of skill. He's got levels of skill. We have not seen it continuously, and it looks like it's a bit rough and tumble for him up here. And his theatrics and that at times we've watched. No for me. So I think the manager might start him tomorrow and Sunday. Sorry, but I'd expect him to be benched. To be honest, I'd like to think he would be benched, and I think he'll go back down the road. And whether he makes it Wolves or no, I don't know. If you're playing with better players and you've got something about Yorks, then but we'll see what happens to him. When he leaves Rangers, I don't care what he does, to be honest.
Oh, but I think part of the trouble is you're trying to be offensive, but you've got to get your shape right. Cantwell, Seamer, Lawrence playing, you know.
That doesn't work, does it? Just simply doesn't work. We don't look solid or nothing, you know what I mean? The platforms there, the move breaks down, which it does for Rangers a lot of the time. And so we give the ball away. We don't actually get tackled. We just give the ball away. And then it's all big charge up the park. And you're looking at our players. Some of them are 3 and 4 and 5 yards behind, trying to catch up with just bang average professionals. They can't seem to get near them. And then you look at our defence, they're crapping it as soon as anybody's running at them. They're just all nappy. Somebody said the other day, nappy fellas is the biggest sport. And it's true. They just panic. They just go there. But Sunday, you're just hoping that 9 games to go, or up to the Motherwell game. We weren't thinking like this. Up to the Motherwell game, we were all confident. Semi-final, blah blah, whatever. We'll get that. The league, they're running the league. We'll do this. We'll do that. We're all confident. The Motherwell game happened, and we all shook us a wee bit and went up. It shouldn't have really happened, that shouldn't it? But then, since then, it's just went completely wrong. Now, we knew that the Hearts game, when it got drawn, was always going to be a difficult game. Disregard how we were playing. We knew it was going to be a difficult game. But now, the way we're playing, we've made it 10 times harder for ourselves. But you never know. I mean, I'm hoping, the only hope I've got it right, and I can say we can beat Hearts. If we turn up, we can beat Hearts. Let's not kid ourselves on here. We could have beat any of the teams we played if we turned up, but we didn't turn up. So it's a silly point, I suppose. But at the end of the day, all I'm hoping for is they can switch back on as quickly as they switched off. I'm hoping for that anyway.
Get that, Albert, I get that, but I'm a great believer in if you take your foot off and it's done psychologically or deliberately, it's hard to get it back on. And that's in a game or after a game. I don't think football works like that. Southside, does it? I think you've got to be, your attitude has got to be switched on, and you've got to carry it from game to game.
When you're on that run, keeps the confidence levels high and all that, and players start to, they're basically playing for them and you're getting results. And if you're carrying one or two, you're hoping they've had one bad game and the next game they play their usual game. But we've had a pure dip in the 2 games. Just by physical, running about, closing players down, showing a bit of effort. And like you say, if we're losing the ball high up in the park, and you've got Cantwell and you've got Lawrence in your team that a lot of people wanted in the team, once we lose it, you've not got the power levels to get back and chase back across the halfway line. And then your defence is stretched. And Lundstrom's not got the mobility to do that job. So that's how people are looking at different players. DeMonte's got energy levels. Sterling's got energy levels. Raskin, if he was ever in the team, had energy levels when he was there. So we had players. Dowell, I don't know, manager's putting him in, but he's a number 10 and I don't know why he's doing it, and we'll wait and see what happens on Sunday. So it seems to be a wee bit all over the place for what it was, just because of the one result against Motherwell. We've just continued into form where it's been patchy, apart from a second half performance against them at Ibrox. So you could say it's been paper near the cracks a bit, Ox, but I just need to hope that these players hit a bit of form on Sunday if they're selected, and we get back to passing the ball, simple stuff, and move and track your runners when you're off the ball. But we've got to tighten up the defence, because Hearts have got players that can punish us.
If Dowell's a number 10, mate, that's Lawrence, Seamer, Cantwell, Dowell. Yeah.
Any time I'd ever seen Dowell, I didn't think he was a number 10, but the manager referenced he was in a number 10 position, and Beale also referenced that he wanted to play further forward, given in when he got a chance in the team. So.
At the cameo against Celtic, he done okay, but I think the other, even on Wednesday night, I thought he was atrocious when he came on. I thought he was even worse against Inverness. One run doesn't make a good game, you know. Listen, he's come into a team that started not played well, so it's hard to criticise somebody coming back from an injury. Albert, I don't think he's started in Inverness.
No, nearly. I mean, I don't think he's started either. But there you go. It's one.
He didn't start in Inverness.
Where did he start?
He didn't start in Inverness.
Aye, they're playing tonight, by the way. Don't
it was a geography. I knew it was up north, south side. Sorry for the people in Dingwall. I get mixed up. I apologise. Carry on.
What were we saying? He shouted me right up.
He was doing me for my geography.
Oh, I'm all over the place. I was agreeing with your geography. She showed you what I know.
He didn't start well.
Don't get in my taxi. I know, he didn't start well. But we can say this about a lot of players. I mean, I'm trying to work out who I like now in the squad, and if they're going to get in the team. No, I mean, so start with the first team. Who is in there? I like Butland, good keeper. Had his moments, but a good keeper. Overall, a good keeper. I like him. I quite like wee Ridvan when he's on his game. Good wee player. Suter, 50-50. 50-50 with Suter. He sometimes has brilliant games, but he can have a brain fart, and he's too easy turn for me. Forwards can easy turn. Golson, the boy, he's done. That boy, he's done enough. Then you get into the midfield. Lundstrom, done. And then you're looking at Stirling, I like. Raskin, I'm not sure about as well. But I'm telling you right now, if I was Raskin, I'd be kicking his door in, saying, I want to get in this midfield. I mean, I'm as good, if no better, than most of what you've got out in that part now. But it's up to him to show him, and he's saying he's showing him at training. Then you've got Diamandi. I like Diamandi. I mean, Diamandi's okay. Look, he looks the part. A wee bit raw at times, but no, he looks the part. Then you're going on to Cantwell. Cantwell I like, but Cantwell's the icing on the cake, a good teammate. He's no, you can't build a team around Cantwell. He's not that type of player. You've got to have solid players. Players like Jack and wee McCall when he was there with Rangers, Barry Ferguson. These type, you build teams around players like that. You don't build teams around players like Cantwell, because they're too flirty, mate. They're in and out of games. When they're brilliant, they're absolutely brilliant. When they're rotten, they're anonymous, mate. They're just anonymous. Dowell and Lawrence are the exact same for me. Lawrence, I thought, was a better player than he was going to be, but I think his legs are gone, mate, to be perfectly honest with you. Then you're up front. Dessers, Desler's a nice guy and he works hard, but he's not good. He's not a quality player, mate. He's just no. Seema is a quality player, which I like. And I hope we get big Seema. But no, I hope we don't play him on the wing. I hope we make him into a centre forward because that's what he is. McCausland I like, but he needs to build up. I like him. He's definitely got something, that boy, but he's too lightweight at the moment. Definitely too light. Matondo, I'm 50-50. I'm for a £9 or £11 million player he's went for. He needs to show a lot more than he's got, man. Come on. I think he's got something, but so I'm 50-50 with him as well. Silva, no, absolutely not. Definitely not. Roof and all them, they're just done. He's done. Waste my time now. And then you're going on to the reserves. Well, McLaughlin, get him out. McCory, come on, son. Are you going to just sit your rest of your career on the Rangers bench? No, I mean, what you ask yourself that? King, same. Devine, he's out at Motherwell, but is he going to come in and take over at right back? No, definitely not. You're looking at who else is on that bench? Right? No, definitely not. So that's just my opinion on these players, mate. I try to work out who I do like, and there's a core of a team there that I like, but they're no like a solid core. You know what I mean? You need to add players that's going to bring a lot to the team.
He's been working on these lists all week, hasn't he?
No, I know, but you've got to look at this. Isn't probably the time to do it at the right business end of the season, because these players, we shouldn't be, if they've been off fit and all that, then they should be firing, right? But I think you said it the other night, you talked about Big Yefeko, you're talking about Bailey Rice, who is a young boy, you're talking about Lovelace, you were talking, you watched McCausland would have been in that bracket, should he not have made the breakthrough. The boy Aaron Lyle's out at Airdrie, which I don't think will get back, and you've talked about Devine. Leon King, I think it's a harder position for him. But you'd have thought that some of these boys would need to be carrying forward into the squad for next year, all bear no. And we've got to have a look at them and see when we can give some of them some game time and see if we can develop them into getting games. You're saying like Devine, no at right back, but if he has he started quite well at Motherwell with getting some regular game time. It'll depend on whether he's going to make a breakthrough, but he make a breakthrough then, like we're saying, Tav should get limited game time going forward next season if you're trying to bring the boy on and bring him through, and let's see if he doesn't make many mistakes and he is quite decent and he can settle down and we can bring him on as a good right back. You know, since Sterling, I think, would have been there, I think would have went in there. I think that was what would have happened in time, but it just so happens that we can see that he can play in central mid.
Well, Devine, Devine, is he ever going to be a £5 million player? Do you think we're ever going to develop that boy into a £5 million player? Because that's the aim for them all, mate. That's the aim for them all.
Well, aye, but see the now that if we could develop him into a Rangers player, even for the next 4 seasons, and he was pretty decent and solid, I wouldn't care about trying to sell him for £5 million. I'd be happy that we've got a decent right back that started to play and he's settled down and he's playing. And he will make mistakes. He's a young boy. Look at Lewis Mayo, who's playing now at Kilmarnock, and he's playing pretty decent. And he's settled down, but he couldn't get in when he was at Rangers. But getting a chance of playing regular football, and McInnes gave him it. Might not be a world beater, but the boy's played pretty well for Kilmarnock for the time he's been there.
But they're off for selling, mate. That's the point I'm making. They're off for selling. I'll tell you another thing I was thinking about. I would see the academy. I know Auchen Howie's there for the first team, but see the B team academy. I would actually move that to the centre of England. I would open the academy there. You've got a bigger gene pool to choose from. Up here, you've got to drag people from like London and all other places away. Up here, I would actually move the actual academy down there and say, right, we're going to start looking at all these areas all around England for a start to see. It's a bigger gene pool, mate. Let's be honest about it, because it's mad. This is just mental. We're not getting absolutely nowhere, mate. Absolutely nowhere. And we're never going to improve until somebody comes up with an idea how to improve it and how to move the whole thing forward for it. I'm not talking about Scottish football. I'm just talking about for Rangers. We need to move it forward.
I get I get your point. You mentioned Jeffeko. The point was, Southside, he's 20 years of age, I believe, and we've just given him a contract to 2026. So if you've given him that contract, you're accepting that he must be pushing to get in the first team between 20 and 22. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Well, aye.
And we've got two left backs. One's checked, one's injured. Ben Davis has never really played there for us and isn't an amazing mobile. The young boy has played there and gives you what he's got, and he's also physical. And maybe he could come in and David McCausland done. You know, you get a freaky chance, and there's not even a sniff of him coming in.
No.
We play a boy who's no much older than him, Big Sterling, out of position. So what does that tell you about, no offence to the big boy, because we've not seen enough of him to judge, but what does that tell you about the first team coaching staff? Think your boy will just gave a new contract to?
Maybe they've earmarked him to be part of a squad going forward next season, and he might be more involved in the first team going forward. We don't know what Clement and the staff are thinking when they've given him the contract. Robbie Fraser's another one that could have come in and went into left back, but for some reason he's not introduced him. And he's about 20. And there's a core group of these boys that might leave. Archie Stevens, we got for Wimbledon. I think he was at Wimbledon. And we brought him up here, and he's highly thought of down there. And we've had him nearly 3 seasons, and he's not managed to break through. And Lovelace is another one that in the time we've had him, he's not had the chance to break through either. So they'll probably be sold and go back down the road because they're not getting a chance in the first team at Rangers. McCausland's been lucky, and he is a talented wee player, but you'll have to coach him and bring him on. So next year he'll probably not be he shouldn't be probably an automatic starter and not on the right wing, because that's not where he plays. So, but you need to try and some of the boys. Cole McKinnon's been there or thereabouts, another central midfielder. I don't know whether he'll make it, but Clement's had him on a couple of times in that, and he's talked well in an interview. He's a blue nose. He wants to play for the club, so I think he got a contract. So hopefully, maybe next season he'll be somebody else that'll be pushing to try and get in the team, because we're looking at guys that are getting games in there in front of them. Like we're saying, play Tom Lawrence in there. I mean, that boy is a central midfielder. Maybe that boy would just go in there and play really well. Oh, bear, look at the wee boy that's about Airdrie. That wee boy's some football player, isn't he? Aaron Lyle.
Oh, aye. Definitely. The trouble with these boys, as we've said before, is that they've got the ability, a lot of these boys. I'm not arguing about some of these boys' ability, because they're superb players, but they're physically not ready. That's the big thing, and it really should be. That should not be an issue. It should be that, are you good enough? But one thing it shouldn't be an issue is you're not physically ready to play in it. Why not? Why not? I mean, it's madness, total madness. I just don't get what we're doing over there. But anyway, I'm not a fitness coach and I'm not a professional at that game, but I look at down south and I look at what you said there a wee while ago, mate, the European game, 18-year-olds and all that playing in the Champions League. I mean, if they can do it, we can do it. These boys have got good talent, but they're not physically ready. Shocking, mate. Absolutely shocking. You can't say that about Vig Jeffeko, because he's a monster of a boy, man. He is a lumpy a boy, that boy.
Right.
But we got him for Leicester, but we got him for Leicester.
Left-sided, it's a big asset, isn't it?
Aye, definitely, mate. And I thought when he had a game before, was it a friendly or a European game? Can't remember what it was, but he played well. He did play well. I think he played left back, didn't he? But again, as you're saying, when do you play them? They're not even getting games themselves. No, I mean they've pulled out of they've no reserve league now. This was going to be a great idea when Warburton and all them were up here. They're all talking about this great, brilliant idea, and we'll play semi-pro football, whatever the crap they were talking. You know what I mean? And when it turns in, the boys don't get a game now every week. How are they not playing every week? How are they not getting? It's not that important that they get competitive football. All right, okay. So what would they just don't play football at all? That's better. It's just talk crap, mate. That's just absolute nonsense. You get these idiots coming out of university, you know what I mean? I've got a good idea, and it's just the same idea, just regurgitated a different way. It's crap. Nothing changes, mate. Nothing gets better. Well, we lose talent all over the place. We don't give talent a chance when it is genuine talent. We don't get a chance. Why? The league structure stops that. Forget about that. That's not conducive for bringing boys into your team. Tell you that for none.
If you actually think about it, Fecko's we mentioned him briefly the other night because of his age, but he's not even been mentioned when the left back's been injured, is he? Unless they don't see him as a left back, unless they think centre back's his position, if I'm being honest. Maybe he's not comfortable out there, but we don't know. Did they not come on? I can't remember. No. You know, because Ridvan, if you're asking me, it looks as if we're not going to see Ridvan this season, Southside.
If he's robust in that and he can continue and then suddenly goes away on international duty injured. So, I mean, it's just one of the things, but that'll be another spot. Unless the coaching staff have looked at Fecko or MD else that they see as a potential left back. I think the rumour was that boy Jetty that's playing that we tried to get the last time. I think the rumour is we'll maybe be getting him, but I don't know. But there's a lot of positions that we'll need to be filling soon, and central defence is positions that it's going to cost money. But there's a lot of money to be saved, Docs, in that squad with wages and the ones that are leaving. And hopefully, once always said, if you're young enough and good enough for that and show right attitude, you'll get in my team. So I'm hoping some of the young boys that are coming through will push into the first team and maybe see them down the road. But it's a two-team league. You've got to win it, and the pressure's always on. And it's harder for the boys to try and make a breakthrough into the team. And they did take a dipping for them, as you've seen with young McCausland at times as well.
People are thrown in all the time. You need a bit of luck, you know, but some of them haven't been near the squad. No, you know. You think 9 subs would help, but in some respects it doesn't. And then if you're sitting on the bench every week, you're number 17 all day and you're not getting on the pitch. What does that do for your development? You're not played yet. All of a sudden, you're not played for a month.
Well, I'll give you an example, right? The boy King, there's a good example. The boy King, he played in the Champions League for us through necessity, by the way. And all things considered, he done all right. All things considered, mate. He's only a young boy. He done all right. We get pumped rotten in the Champions League. Has that boy improved an inch since that experience? And that was 2 years ago. He's not improved 1 inch. Why? Because he never plays. You can count your one how many minutes that boy's had since 2 years, nearly 2 years now. So this is your thought about it.
Because I don't think I've hardly seen him. As you said, you could count the minutes in one on.
That's the point. So as I said earlier on with my mental list, one of my mental lists, there's a tick box exercise. These boys are wasting their careers because of the part of a tick box exercise. You've got to have as I said to you before, why waste boys' careers like that? If you've got to fulfil that tick box for that idiot mob UEFA, why don't you just go down to the job centre and get 4 boys on the brew and just say, Eddie, he's play football? No. Right, come on, you're sitting on the Rangers bench. Why? Because you're all Scottish. And that's that fault. And you're giving them a decent wage that they wouldn't get in the brew. So you're probably tripling their money that they would get in the brew or a labourer's job. It's the same thing, mate. Because we're never going to bring them on the park. So we're just a tick box exercise.
Why do we have to go to the brew? How could we not get Southside and Stevie? Then it would sort them out for tickets.
Exactly.
Sort out the dressing room, mate.
Well, that's probably a better idea because you'd actually get every season we change the 4 boys to 4 supporters and they sit on the bench. All you need to do to qualify is be Scottish. And that's how crazy I see it. I might be wrong on this. So that's how crazy I see all this. And we're going. I mean, every season we go around in circles and do the same things, and then we talk about the same things with no improvement. We'll not even get an idea that's been tried, and we can discuss that. It just keeps time after time the same thing over and over and over again.
Well, I've just a text with Mr. Bisgrove. He thinks that's a marvellous idea. He's going to raffle the 4 positions.
There you are. It's a money-making exercise.
I thought you guys say he's going to put it to my chairs members only.
Oh dear! Right, maybe that's.
Nothing says you can't do it, mate. Nothing says you can't do it. It's madness. It's total and utter madness with this football. In Europe, when they come out with stupid rules like that, and another stupid rule that does my head right in, is you only can play a certain amount of players. You must play players that's been brought up or trained in your country for X amount. What a lot of nonsense. Oh, and another one, 21 or 22 players in the squad. You've got to register that. You can't play. You've not got access to all the players, all your first team players in your squad. You've got to pick. Why? What's that going to put? That's just stupid, mate. But big teams will get a better advantage. But you're also giving us a disadvantage. Look with the three. Remember the 3 foreigner rule we have to put up with. Look at the disadvantage that gave for us for years. But anyway, this is the rules. It's mental rules, mate. It's like don't make sense.
I like your one about the brew.
But, would you know that? What's to stop you doing it, mate? Because you're going to save 4 wages right away.
I think you should go for the supporter experience, sitting on a European bench in a European tie, with kitted up, knowing that you're not going on. But I'd go up and running up and doing that touchline the river and warming up.
Listen, if I'm going to buy raffle tickets, and you, Stevie, are putting a kit on, I'll buy a raffle ticket for both of you.
Just to say that.
Would you just out of curiosity, would you be ready with the shin pads on Southside, or would you sit with the socks rolled?
No, full kit on, mate. Shin pads a lot. Me and that carry on, gives my jersey or hold on, sending somebody in for my shin pads.
Does that wake you up?
Aye, of course it did. You should be ready to go on. And see, to be honest, surely they're tilt. Like, you're a minute or two, you get in, you warm up, you know you're coming on. To see if you've not got your shin pads or you're missing any of your kit, man. You wouldn't be getting picked the following week. You should be desperate to go on the park, so you should be ready, mate. Ready.
Aye.
It drives me crazy. The
other one that gets me is when the coach has the tablet out and he's telling them where to go. So what have they done all week? We on it training. Not just
and basically we're not even looking at it. They're looking about. You're getting no. Pay attention to what he's telling you. Oh, yeah. Oh, we lost a goal at the corner kick. Guess who didn't pick up a man? Anyway. We're getting Fox has come out with a good idea. I'll let you read it out.
I've seen them. He's just jealous to see what they selected.
I'd be Southside. I'd have the boots, the shin. But I'd be out. I would only be out. I'd be out next to the ball boys. I'd be chasing the boys, the ones that go out the park and everything. I'd be wanting a kick. Anyway,
listen,
just an idea.
Right. Let's get back to Sunday, right? How do you see it panning out? We shouldn't fear Hearts, but it's myself we fear. Southside.
Aye, what Rangers are going to turn up? That seems to be what I was thinking. No, listen, if we turn up and we put in performances we could have counted back a few weeks back, we should beat Hearts, no bother. I don't fear Hearts. I just fear that some of the players might not put in a performance. But listen, it's a Scottish Cup semi-final. I'm sure they know what the expectation is and they know what should be done. So it's just about getting the sleeves rolled up, mate. And I think Albert said it before, take that stupid bib off, get the sleeves rolled up and just get stuck right into Hearts on Sunday. And when you've not got the ball and we're under pressure, make sure you're chasing your men and marking up, mate. That's it. And just do the job properly. But aye, we'll see what team turns up. But they'll need to be on because any stray passes and it's not going to plan, the support will get restless, and that's what Hearts will want. So we can't let them get any impetus in the game and control it or anything like that. We've got to be on the front foot and making sure that we've got them on the back foot, and hopefully we're going to be creating chances. First goal will be crucial, to be honest, mate. So we need to hope that whoever's in that blue jersey sticks the ball in the back of the net first.
First goal was that put us under a bit of pressure. Of course, if we conceded it because of the way we've been playing, but maybe if Dundee would have scored the first minute, it might have done us a favour. I don't know if it would have done, but it might have done. You know, but we're going to have to score goals. That's 2 games, mate, and we've not scored a goal for open play. Albert?
It's the same problem we've had all along, mate. We've had it for years now, and it's just continuing. Well, I've said it umpteen times, goals change games. Not just the score, we know that, but it changed the attitude of the game, it changed the attitude of your teammates, now everything. It's all positive. You score goals, we don't score goals. Well, you look at the table, league tables now, it tells you we do score goals, but we don't score the right goals at the right time. That's probably what we're meaning. I mean, that Dundee game, for example, 1 goal wins that game. Seema had 2 chances and Golson had 1 with a header. So any one, the 3 game we want, but any one of them game, you win the game. It's as simple as that, mate. And we do this time and time and time and time again. We also could have won the Celtic game with the shot Dessler has. It's unlucky. You know what I mean? I'm not blaming him for that. He takes a dig, but it goes by the post. It doesn't go in. Things like that, mate. That's the difference. That can be the. It could be the difference. It is the difference. If you're playing bad and your striker pops up, scores a goal, alleviates the pressure right away. Ross County, if we score the 3 chances we score, well, we get an own goal, we got 2 or 3 chances. We score them, the game's done. You rip the heart out of them. But we're not doing it. It's all doing to not doing it. And then the more pressure goes on the defence, and the more pressure goes on the midfield. It's a domino effect, isn't it, mate? To be honest with you, it's just because you don't score goals, the right goals at the right time.
Aye. I mean, you have different kinds of strikers, don't you? You get strikers that score a lot of goals and strikers that score big goals. Southside,
Aye, we've got none of that at the moment.
If you're asking me, can we win on Sunday? Definitely we can win on Sunday. Definitely we can win.
Here's a question for
if we turn up.
Here's a question for Mr. Fox. Then. If we do turn up, we play well on Sunday. Will you be more annoyed?
No, you'll not be more annoyed, mate.
No, it's expected, Ox. No, that's what we're meant to do.
More annoyed about what's happened in the last week.
Listen, this squad and team's annoyed us all season, mate. You know, so nothing's won and nothing's lost yet. That's the thing. It's harder, but that's all it is. So if they turn up on Sunday and put a performance in and get that victory that we're all expecting to turn up and see on Sunday, which we're expecting, I expect to beat Hearts on Sunday. I'm totally confident, no, but I still think we can beat them. I think they've got players that can hurt us, and I think if we're slack, we can get punished. So we need to be on our guard. But apart from that, if we limit them to chances on our goal, then I would expect us to get chances at some point, and we'll stick 1 or 2 in the net, and that should be enough. And then we take it on to the next league game when that comes around and see how the performance is for then. So I'm judging them on Sunday, and I'll not be annoyed. I'll just be more happy that we're in it. I'll be more happy, albeit that we've got to the Scottish Cup final. Then the time we get there, we'll know who we're going to get anyway. So they play the day before, the 2 of them. So either or, mate. And hopefully by the time we get to that Scottish Cup final, we'll be in a right good bit of form, and we'll hopefully have a league title in the bag and all, because there's still 5 games to go, mate, and it's nothing's gave up. As I said earlier, they thought they'd won it in October, and they think they've won it now. So it's down to us to get back on the front foot and get the job done.
It can still be done. Of
course it can.
If we're going to do it, we're doing it the hard way.
Aye.
Albert?
Oh, definitely doing it the hard way, mate. I don't think a more difficult way of doing it the way we're doing it. Fall off a cliff, give away all 8 points, just garbage performances, and then all of a sudden we come back. It'd be brilliant to see, mate. It really would be brilliant to see, because I'm with Southside and all them. They're convinced that's win it. They're going to win that. They're going to pump. What do you call them? Aberdeen. There's one. By the way, it annoys me. 17 games is hard to beat us, all that, and they always say it in the interviews, and I'm going, well, how many games is it, or years since Aberdeen beat them in a cup game? Never asked any of them that question. I mean, it's like, we need to wake everybody up because it's 17 games since Hearts has no beat you. I'm saying to myself, what's that got to do with anything? Anyway, you just go on with the interview. It just annoys me, things like that. But there you go. It's part and parcel of it. But Aberdeen are playing them tomorrow. And if it's Aberdeen at turn up, we're turning up. We no turn up. Watch Aberdeen no turn up against them. New manager, I know. But it's all about us, mate. It's all about us. We need to start showing. And we've been saying this now for the last, 5 games? 3, 4, 5 games? Show up, start playing.
Well, aye. We've hardly played a good half of football. 1 good half in 6, mate. That's what's concerning me.
Yeah, you're right.
It's got to change, Ox. It's got to change. It's got to change. You know, do you think we're going to see another 6 games exactly like what we've watched, or 7 games, whatever it'll be? No, it's got to change. So Sunday should be the time to change it.
It's going to be interesting, mate, to see how what the selection is and if there's any tweak in the shape, you know. I don't think he'll tweak his shape. But it's going to be interesting because it's a massive game. It's a semi-final against Harlem and Lothian. At any time, it's a big, big game. By the way, is at the end of the game asking for 50-50 splits are happening? Jeez, how embarrassing. Just come in, I know tickets is something. South side.
Aye, I think their 50-50 split days are over now.
Aberdeen the same, I believe. Aberdeen the same.
Did they ask for 50% as well?
I don't even think they're sold out the tickets they got.
Right.
I don't think they asked for 50%. They asked for 50% against us. Because again, it's everybody wants to see the Rangers, mate. Everybody wants to see the Rangers. We fill every ground because everybody wants to see the Rangers.
You there? Aye, that's what we do. Make our towns and cities famous for a day when we go there. But no, it's I don't know what they've done with the tickets. I don't know if they gave some to Rangers or no. I know Rangers did release some tickets there the other day. So I don't know if they've managed to get some for Hearts that couldn't sell out the rest of their allocation. So if they did, then it'll be good for the people that managed to get them. But I'm looking forward to Sunday, mate. Scottish Cup semi-final. And hopefully we'll go there and do the business. And just like you say, we'll see the judgment of our manager and who he picks. But listen, we know he's limited to what he can pick as in fitness-wise. And some of them, I don't think we'll put many shocks in there come Sunday, to be honest. Do you see it happening?
No, I don't. I think Albert's team would be radical for Philip. I don't think he will. Should he? That's a whole different debate, Albert, isn't it?
Well, if they fell out their 3, I think that's the team he needs to put in. If they've all fell out their 3 and they're on huffs or whatever's happened, that's the team he needs to put in. So if it's not true, then you'll say, well, stick with what we've got, which is basically wrong. Let's be honest about this. There's players off form. Not your fault they're off form. Or you say we'd be off form. You're hoping it's that there's off form and it's not a huff. but it sounds logical. The way that we played it's what's been said sounds logical, doesn't it? It really does. It's not an excuse, it's a fact. You're going, well, if that's the case, well, okay, we'll give the other boys a choice, the other boys that have not been playing, and the ones that are going to be here for next year, we'll give them a chance. Let's see what they can do.
Predictions, boys.
Let's say go first.
3-1 Rangers.
What was that there? Did that
3? I know. I was only kidding you on. 2-0. 2-0 it'll be. I knew you go. I was waiting to see how long it would take you. I never give a goal against the Rangers. You know that.
I know that.
2-0. 2-0.
Okay, all right. What are you thinking, Albert?
Oh, I don't know, mate. I don't know. Let me see. I'm going 3-2 Rangers.
Oof.
Oh, what?
You've got to be realistic, mate, with that defence. You've got to be realistic with that defence, mate. We're just hoping that the Cantwell and all them turn up and bang 3 in for us. Or 4 or 5.
I'll predict it'll be an open game, but I don't think Hearts will sit in. Does that make sense, Southside?
Aye, listen. If we were a manager, if we were manager of Hearts or that, or you were a supporter of Hearts, would you not think, here, let's go and have a go at them? They look vulnerable. No, they're all over the place. So we've got Shanklin. Give him a chance, he'll probably score. And they've got an wee boy up front. It's no bad. I can't remember his name. Was it Vargas or something? I can't remember, but he's pretty decent. And they'll come and have a go, and they'll come and play probably more against us in the midfield, and they'll want to try and get control of the ball. They know if they can get to us and unsettle the crowd and that, or if they can nick a goal, they know that whole under that stadium will not be happy. It puts us under more pressure. So I think Hearts, will come out and have a go at us. I think it might be an open game. So I'm hoping that we'll get right on top of the occasion, and we'll be right on the front foot and be right up for the challenge. They'll need to be, because if they're no, we'll only get a result probably. So that team need to be up for the challenge first and foremost, Ox, and then you need to try and play, win your battles, and then get out and play. So we'll go today, mate.
Mm-hmm. Aye. It's going to be really interesting when the team comes out, Albert. It's going to be, it's going to answer some questions, or it's going to give us more questions. If that makes sense.
It's not going to be. Everybody's going to be happy about it. Put it that way. It's not going to happen. It's some people will be happy with it. Some people won't be happy with it. But I don't know, mate. You look at the squad and you go, come on, look. We need a spark. That's what you're looking for. We really need a spark. We need somebody to ignite us and get us going. And you're looking at the squad and say, who could that be? Who can it be? Cantwell tries to do it, but he's needing help. He's no doubt about that. So you're looking at your winners and go,
his decision making, and slow.
Right.
I mean, in the game before the game on Wednesday, I said, well, I would like Cantwell to be man in the match, and that was before we were saying because I thought if he's man in the match, it means we're creating chances and attacking well. He was slow. His decision making was poor. He was getting caught in possession. He didn't show for the ball. Everything he done was poor.
Aye, I agree with that. Mate. But you're looking at the spark. Where's the spark coming for then? But the Matondo, Seamer, you're looking for a spark after them. I don't know. Where is it coming for? Usually it's Tab comes up and smashes one in for a free kick or
maybe you've said something that I don't think any said in my team. Matondo, because of the spaces at Hampden. Anyway, last word for your good self, Albert.
Onward and upward, and come on, the Rangers, you can do it. Just turn up, please turn up. That's what I want. Just turn up, and let's see what you've got.
Southside.
Aye, so I thoroughly enjoyed being on the night with Albert and your good self. And aye, roll on to Sunday, as we say. Time for this team to step up and be counted, mate. The support will certainly be on Sunday. I'm sure there'll be a good display for the Rangers support, and we'll be there loud and proud. So it's time for these players to play for themselves, the club and the support. So make sure, hopefully they'll turn up and we'll take, mate, and I'm sure we will on Sunday. So roll on, mate. I'm on the Rangers.
Step up and play. Sure there's a song about that. Listen, thanks to Albert and Southside for doing the show. Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back at 2 o'clock as we build up to the semi-final at Hampden against the Hearts on Sunday. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take it away, Old School Blue.